Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookvalleylife, or hello for the first time, Brook Valley Archery again today. And again we are looking at what large tools we need in our archery workshop. You've seen me build a bow press for a fraction of the cost it would be for me to buy one, and yes, it works really well. Nice shade of blue, nice and shiny, and everything works fine. And anyone who's got access to a welding machine of some sort, little buzz box, you should be able to do it quite easily, as long as you've got a grinder, stuff like that. And you'll see me grinding and welding and just gluing it all together, and it works really well. That's all I'll say on that. And I didn't have to spend $1,500 to buy myself, oh, that's not including shipping either, a good bow press. Next, now this is something that I have had, but it's in a different form, and that is a bow vise. Now, as I said, I've mainly shot recurve all my life, and I've used a bow vise just to set up things, to put the bow in, to keep it straight, and so I can work on it. With the compound now, I thought, let me have a look around and see what's available and see if I can get a proper bow vise that I can use for my recurve and for the compound bow. And I've come up with something, and I think a lot of you out there who've got your own little archery workshop, this will be something good to have a look at. So come with me and let's go and have a look at an archery bow vise. So hi everyone, welcome to my workshop, bow vises. So lots of different types out there. This is a bow vise I've had for a long time that I picked up off, it's either eBay or Trade Me or AliExpress, one of the two, and all it is a clamping device. You put the limbs in and it clamps on the limbs, simple as that. Yes, you are supposed to be able to, yeah, that's really tight, I can't undo it. Move it in different directions, but you've really got to clamp down hard on these knobs here, and once they're really tight, they're really difficult to get off, and you'll need something hard. So this is the one I had for my recurve, and I thought I'll bolt it onto a piece of wood, therefore I can just stick it onto a clamp it down onto somewhere like that, and we can use it that way. So I thought, let me have a look, see what else I can find. Now there's some really expensive bow vises out there that are dedicated allegedly for just archery stuff, but you're paying through the nose for it. And I wanted to see if there was something you could pick up that's virtually the same, that needs to hold something well that you can work on. And after looking around, I did find something. I'll just get rid of that. And don't worry, this isn't going to turn on. This is my circular saw on my big table, and it's all good. But I found this. Now, some of you, let me show you there, might know what this is straight away, because you may use it already. This is actually a bicycle vise, and the tube sits in here and you just clamp it on. Really simple. You've got different bits on here so you can spin it round. You've got another one here so you can actually turn it. Can you believe it? I'm inside and I've still got bloody wasps. Go away. God, you can't win. So again, I've bolted it to a block of wood so I can put it on to somewhere and clamp it down. As I said, it's got clamps on there so you can actually twist it, so that'd be good, and then clamp it and it won't budge. You've got another clamp, hang on, just let me turn this around. There we go. So now I can open up this one, I can put whatever it is in here, I can clamp it down and it won't move. I can make it less by unscrewing it, depending on the size of what I'm doing. And then all you do is you get it in position, clamp it down, and you're holding it. And you can just hold your bow there, set up your center shot, your knocking point, all these type of things without having to touch your bow. And you make sure it's level and straight upright. So there's your 2 axes, and then I guess you can work out your 3rd axis. I still haven't figured out all what that is when it comes to compound bows, but yeah, pretty simple. And I think I paid $49 for this. Stay there. I'm going to go and actually check what I paid for this, and I'll come back to you. So for this vise, this bike vise, I paid $35 off Trade Me here in New Zealand. Now I know you can pick these up off Amazon as well, quite cheaply. It's made from metal and hard plastic, and you've got soft plastic drawers, so it should be sweet for your bow. So what I will do is I will go and grab a bow, and we'll see if we can actually put it in here and see if it works. So let me, first of all, clamp this down. So what I will do, I will just make sure. There we go. So you can see all it is clamped, and normally I'll do it on the edge of the table to make things easier. And I will bring you forward. So here is my Bowtech Guardian. Now I love this bow. Had it for quite a long time, just never shot it. However, I've had a limb, I think it was the bottom limb, just here. And I don't know how it happened, so I'm not sure if you can see that. This limb actually split across here. Hopefully you can see that. And I've been trying to find some Bowtech Guardian limbs. This is only a £50 bow, but it shot beautifully. And that's all I ever wanted, was a good shooting bow. So what you're supposed to do with this is grab this, put it in, see, that's too tight, so what we'll do is we'll loosen this a fraction. Try that. Clamp it down. Now at the moment I haven't got this clamped very well, but normally it would be clamped pretty well. Let me spin you around so you can see how I've got that. Hopefully you can see from both ways that the bow is in there and it's held quite nicely. Yep, you can see there. That's good. And now if I want to turn it upright, I just loosen that off. I can spin this, get it in the upright position, and lock it off. And there we have the bow set, upright position. Yes, it's, as I say, it's usually on the edge of the table, and you can actually clamp. I would always clamp at that end so you didn't have this rocking motion. But there we go. It's held firmly, it's not going to fall off. I can spin it around if I need to, which is really good. I can just unloosen that, I can tighten this up, and I'm putting no force onto the limbs. And no, I didn't crack this limb by putting it into that other vise that I've got. But yeah, this is it. This is how it actually holds. Let me just, hopefully you can see that there. And it is a really good bit of kit for your bow. Yeah, I can put my recurve in here. In fact, just a second. Just to show you. I'll take that out. So there's my compound bow. Now I can put this in any way I want. Now, as long as you've got clearance above you, it can go in. I don't have clearance, which is pretty dumb. Just a second. I'm going to move this to the edge, which means I can do that as well. Now, I'm sorry for the light in the background, but I can get clearance here now. So here we go. I can put this in here, but again, open it up, slide it in, spin it around. In fact, I could open that up a bit more. Oops, a daisy. Let me just. Having never done this before, making it look a bit of a meal. Oh, but here we go. Take this out a bit, take this out a bit. Bit more. There we go. Bringing it into the upright position by undoing that a fraction. There we go. And again, I can work on my bow. Hopefully you can, hopefully you can see that there. Is now in there quite nicely. Yeah, I'm just holding it on the bottom and the bow itself is up and down. And I can work on the string, anything I want to. $35, that's all it was. How crazy is that? And I can set up a T-square to go across to make sure everything's good. And this is the next tool that I think you really need in your workshop. So if you're working on compound bows, you definitely need a bow press. If you're working on compound bows or recurves, you definitely need a bow vise. What other tools do you think we need when working on our equipment? Now, I've got two more that I am actually going to make. One of those is going to be so I can make strings. Now, I do have a pre-bought string jig, but I'm going to actually make a string jig up for myself. Made from metal, so it's solid, and I can do different size strings on it. The other one, which is mainly for compound bows, however, not only, because it'll allow me to do some force curves for the different limbs I've got. And that will be a drawboard. And that'll be one of the next things, those two next things that I'm going to be making. So, I hope you enjoyed this video showing you the next tool that you should really have in your archery workshop. As I said, we've got the bow press, we've now got the bow vise. Next, we'll be looking at either a string jig or a drawboard. I've got to make them both, so that will be the next video showing you those two. I've got all the parts for them, so that's no issue there. And again, we'll look at the price for a drawboard and we'll see how much it's going to cost me to actually build one. Same with the string jig. And if you can use your hands at all, making them might be a good way to go. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like, subscribe, everything else YouTube wanting to do. Share it with your friends, share it with your non-friends, share it with your archery friends, share it with your archery colleagues, anyone you want to. The channel's growing slowly, and hopefully we can build our archery workshop together. Tell me what you've got in yours, why you've got it, and what you use it for. Sweet. Keep shooting. It's the only way you're going to get better, as they say. And I will catch you next time. Bye-bye for now. Just showed you this is my Bowtech Guardian. If anyone knows where I can get a set of limbs for my Bowtech Guardian, it'd be greatly appreciated. I love this bow. It shoots fantastically. I've just got that split limb. As I said, this was a £50 version of the Bowtech Guardian, so I'm surprised that the limb split. So Bowtech, yep, I know you had some issues with limbs, but I think it was before this. I love this bow. Yeah, I think it's one of the best bows you've come out with, and it was one of the first ones that had this center point pivot. Yeah, great bow. I should maybe do it like that. Yeah, not too heavy. This is only a 34 version, and it works perfectly. I love it. If only I could shoot it. So, anyone got any limbs? Please let me know.